Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be the last update for Deck of Panning for 2023. This is a project that I created after being inspired by Books with Maddie's TBR game. You can find all of the information in the description box below. This project will be coming back next year. I am currently in the process of figuring out what changes to make to the game board for the new year. The face cards will change for the year and new prompts are added, less popular prompts are taken away, all that fun stuff. But I feel like I don't need to explain myself too much because next month is the finale. But I will, at the beginning, towards the beginning of January, I will post a how-to and my introduction as I usually do. But the project will start January 20th. I have a very exciting update and I'm looking forward to sharing it with you. I'm feeling a little rusty. I'm filming in the morning, which never happens, so feeling a little weird. Please excuse me. Before I show you my progress, this is what the game board is looking like for this month. I almost forgot to change it with being sick and I'm under a lot of stress right now. But thank you for reminding me to change that. Now let's get into my update, starting off with something that has been in since the introduction for In It for the Long Haul. I chose to work on my Tarte Toasted palette. I wanted to use this 50 times and hit 2 pans. As of the last update, I had used it the 50 times and hit 1 pan. And I'm so excited to tell you that with 6 more uses, so a total of 56 uses, I successfully hit a second pan. I will put up a picture, but I did hit pan in Cozy. So I now have a pan in Warmth, a pan in Cozy, and quite a dip in S'more up here. But I'm so excited to put this palette away. But I do feel like I gained a new appreciation for this palette. I really do love these like reddish orangey warm tones, especially Warmth here. It's like the perfect pumpkin-y crease. I love it so much. There are shades in here I don't like, as I've mentioned ad nauseum for all of these updates, I feel like. But I'm happy to have this in my collection still, but I am so happy to be putting it away because warm toned neutral looks took over my entire life, I feel like, for the whole year. I know it's only 56 uses in the run of a year, but I am not someone who, one, wears makeup every single day, but also I can't like pan a look. Pan that palette would never work for me. Even if it was pan those eyeshadows, which is why that project didn't work for me, having a selection of shades to use day after day after day, I find extremely boring. So I might wear this for 1 or 2 days in a row and then dabble in some color, come back to this, and I have neutrals and other projects as well. So I just found this to be a challenge, but it was a good reminder that I could never do a pan that palette because it took me until the end of November to hit 2 pans in 1 palette. So this will be rolling out, which is very exciting, and I officially have no other products that I rolled in January. For the prompt favorite color, I chose my Alamar blush trio. I had a goal to use it 20 times. As of the last update, I was at 13, and I'm happy to say I did use this 7 more times in the last month and met my goal of 20 uses. I have really worn down the embossing on Pariso. I cannot speak Spanish for the life of me, if that's even a Spanish word. I'm assuming it is because Alamar Cosmetics has a Cuban brand owner, right? Anyways, I'm happy I got my usage on this. I really do love these 2 blushes, especially I actually have them combined on my cheeks today. I rolled it in for this color because I'm really drawn to this like yellowy orange shade, but I actually don't love this shade on my cheeks. I just like the color in a general sense, but I met my goal on this product as well. I told you we have a really good update. For random letter, I got the letter Q. I rolled in my Ofra Queen lip gloss in collaboration with Samantha March. I also have a 20 use goal on this product. I was at 8 uses as of the last update, and I'm now up to 13. So I wore this lip gloss for 5 days in the last month. Once again, I think I mentioned this every time. With every use, I have visual progress in the tube. It's less than half full now. I don't know if I will finish this by the end of the year. Certainly not within the 20 use goal here, but I mean, if I only have a tiny bit left, I might push through in the last week or two of the year to finish this off, because having this for a makeup empty would be really great. If not, I should keep this pulled and have an early beginning of 2024 makeup empty, because I've just been really motivated by that visual progress. Next I have, for a black owned makeup brand, Juvia's Place, I rolled in their eye primer. I think I had 5 uses to go. Now I'm feeling like maybe my tallies were, I didn't update my tallies in my book after the last update. I'm pretty sure that's the case now that I'm looking at it. Nonetheless, I have used this the 10 times I needed to now, which is really good. This is great for colorful makeup, and as I have fair skin, I don't know how many shades they have of this, but I do know that they go from really light, like this one, this is shade 1, to pretty dark, which is amazing. This is lighter than my skin tone, shade 1. And I'm happy to be rolling out this product as well. I feel like I just needed to gain momentum like throughout the entire year, because I feel like I've had a ton of rollouts in all of my project pans in the last month or two, and it's just been so motivating. I feel like I'm now over the hump of project pan burnout, and I'm now feeling really motivated by all the goals I'm being met and just getting excited for next year's panning as well. For my subscription box prompt, I rolled in Dose of Colors Marvelous Mauves. I did put a 20 use goal on this as well. I don't think I've used this in the last month. I have 3 out of 20 uses. Once again, this is cool toned, and I was so hyper focused on that warm tone Tarte palette that now I am excited to dive into cool tones. I have other cool tone shades in projects as well that I think will complement this, especially my level 2 for Project Level Up. I want to focus on like a rose gold kind of shade, which I think would look beautiful with these mattes. This is one I don't think I'm not going to use this 17 times in the next month, but I am happy that I pulled it out of the boxes downstairs and it's getting some love. For Oh the Shame, meaning a product that you bought probably a while ago and have never used. For this I chose my Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip. I'm wearing this today. I have a 10 use goal on this. 10 uses is kind of the goal I like to do for things that are new, that are in like the testing phase, just so I don't use it one time and then it gets buried in my makeup drawers, or in my case, boxes. If you're new here, my basement flooded and all my makeup is packed up now. 10 uses is good for testing out a product. I'm now at 4 out of 10 uses, and I really like this lip product, but I haven't been reaching for it. Once again, I've had some lip product goals met lately, and now I'm rotating through things a little bit more. I've been shopping my stash for lip products, which I usually don't do, kind of going downstairs and sometimes just blindly reaching in and pulling something out and creating a look around that. That has been fun. I really feel like I haven't rotated through my lip products as well as I could have this year, and a lot of things went neglected, but I did have more lip product empties than I usually do, so it's one of those like double-edged swords. All that rambling to say, I haven't met my goal on this yet. For a splurge item, I chose one of my more pricey concealers because I had finished a concealer recently. This is the Jouer Essential High Coverage Concealer in the shade Lace. I have a 20 use goal on this one, as I do most of these products, and I've used it 5 out of 20 times. This is now the only concealer I'm truly focusing on, but I've been balancing my usage with this. This is high coverage and more matte, but if I'm wearing a light coverage like skin tint or tinted moisturizer, I think this looks a little silly under the eyes. So I've been using my Kosas concealer as well, which I know those expire pretty quickly. So I've been trying to balance between the two. I'm not necessarily trying to pan that Kosas concealer. I'm stumbling over my words, but I don't want it to be forgotten or neglected. I would hate for it to expire and only got a few uses from me. So when I'm wearing a proper foundation, like medium coverage or higher, I've definitely been reaching for this concealer. For oldest, I chose my oldest brow product, which comes from the Brow Gal. This is the Convertible Brow number 2. Ooh, I almost dug my nail in, but I didn't. My goal is to hit pan on this. I've used it 10 times since rolling it in. I'm going to insert some pictures, and I'm at that point where I think I'm very, very close. There's a bit of a demarcation in the bottom there, but it's not shiny. If you have panned this, I know at least one of my subscribers has, because we've chatted about it before. Is it a shiny metal pan under here or something else? Because I feel like there's a little something suspicious going on in this middle shade that I noticed today. I am trying to hit pan in the middle shade. That is the shade I use in the front of my brows, and then I mix the two together for the rest of my brows. So I'm definitely using more of this middle shade. I have really grown to love this product. I really like how my brows look when I use this. I feel like I have a lot of control, and I've actually throughout this year preferred this over my brow pencils, which the panner in me is like, oh my gosh, Emily, just use up some of your brow pencils because they're much faster to go through. Like, this is never going to be a makeup empty for me, where I don't want my brow pencils to be completely neglected, so I do reach for them from time to time, but my brow empties for the year, it's definitely going to reflect the usage that I've put in on this guy. No pan yet, I don't think. Like I said, there's something a little suspicious going on that I can see. It's flat and it looks a little bit different, but I still don't know if it's pan. Watch tomorrow. I'll hit pan, but I'll put pictures to the side. I'm not gonna roll this out yet. Lastly, for a dethroned makeup product, I chose my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I've used this 3 times out of 20. My goal is 20 because I wanted to focus on hitting pan in this next year. Today, I think I finally broke through. There must have been a little bit of like a dried out situation on the top, not necessarily hard pan, but the 2 other times I used it in the beginning of my makeup today, I was like, man, this is just not showing up on my skin the way I want it to. Now, it is a lighter bronzer, but I have fair skin, so this has always been a fine shade for me in the cooler months. But I kept kind of like going more, and then all of a sudden I actually like saw color. I don't know if that makes sense. I finally like noticed quite a bit of product was getting picked up on my brush. So I feel like the top of this kind of dried out, and now I'm more looking forward to reaching for this. I think the bronzer, the color looks really good on me. It's more neutral in tone. The other bronzer I'm panning is NARS Laguna, which is a bit darker. And sometimes I feel like it's a bit much for just an everyday situation. So now that I know that it's working a bit better, I will reach for it more. Does that mean I'm going to, like, once again, the 17 uses in a month? Probably not, but I wanted to just pull this out, get some use on it, and get a bit of a head start for next year because I do want pan showing in this in 2024. Okay, so I currently have 9 products in this project pan, despite starting the year off with 5. I have 3 rollouts, and because we only have 1 month left as well, I'm only going to draw in 1 card. I do want to draw a card because it's just so much fun, and I don't want the November game board to like go to waste, which is why my project has gotten so big, because even when I didn't meet goals, I was drawing cards to pull products in. But I'm really happy with these, not empties, but these goals met, especially Tarte Toasted. I am so excited to put this away, and Not even that I'm 100% completely burnt out on warm tones, but I have other warm tone palettes that I haven't been using because I've only been using this when I wanted warm neutrals. I was coming in here to meet that goal. But this is so exciting. While I shuffle up my cards, I will insert a picture of what the game board is looking like once again. I don't really look too closely at it. When I set it up, it's completely random, so I don't even know like which card I would like to get. Some of them don't seem so scary now that we're in November. Joker, who cares? In it for the long haul, who cares? Because there's only 1 month. Okay, let's draw the card. That is the Two of Hearts, which is a product that is nostalgic. I shouldn't be putting eyeshadow in here, but I kind of feel like I want to. What is nostalgic? Modern Renaissance, the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. You know what? There's only 1 month left, so who cares? I'm actually going to pull in both of these. Both of these have been in, I have a bin here of things to focus on, and I don't know if I've used either of these at all this year. There's a pan, or there's a really big dip in Golden Ochre in my Modern Renaissance palette. If I could hit a pan, 1 more pan in here by the end of the year, that would be fantastic. The Chocolate Bar palette is one of my very oldest palettes, and it only smells like chocolate if you really shove your face in it. This is the first high-end palette I ever bought for myself, saving my pennies, and I wore this on my wedding day, so I'm not going to throw it away, but I would like to use it maybe 5 times to simply determine if this needs to retire. Like, technically a lot of people would say it needs to based on its age, but if the eyeshadows are still performing well, then I will make a point to prioritize this in 2024, maybe do similar to Tarte Toasted and try and hit 2 pans in it next year. But if in the 5 uses-ish, I determined that maybe it's time to let this go, then I will declutter it, as in I will remove it from my makeup inventory, but probably still keep it. This color story doesn't really call to me anymore, but because of that nostalgic factor, I keep it around. I'm so conflicted. Can you tell? I'm like, oh, I should probably retire this, but then I don't want to because it really hasn't gotten as much use on it as it should have for like the splurge that this was at the time. And then the Modern Renaissance palette, I just like to pick away at this year by year, hit a pan or 2, and I haven't really done that this year. But the dip in Golden Ochre up here is absolutely massive, and I think that will go with quite a few other shades I'm already working on in other projects. And I think it would be like an easy thing to toss as my transition shade or something, and maybe have a pan by the end of the year. The dip is quite significant. I don't know why I didn't pull this out sooner, but alas. I feel like this is not the smart choice. If we were earlier in the year, I would not be doing this, but for 1 month, it'll be fun to just get some usage on both of these palettes. They're both nostalgic to me. And make some decisions before the end of the year. So that is it for my deck of panning update. I have 8 products in this project now instead of dropping it down to 7 like I intended, but I feel good about my decision. That being said, I don't think I'll necessarily have a goal met for next time, but I'll be happy with just some usage on these things. I'm way over to the side now, which feels weird. I love this project pan so much, and I'm so happy that you guys do as well. I need to shut up. I just want to talk to some adults. Oh my gosh. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!